Parkville Artisan Studio. This is Tricia Sass, and I am giving you the instructions for our upcoming art box. So I think you're going to have fun with this one. Kind of simple, but seriously some cool creative stuff you can do with it. The first one we're going to do is our little stained glass piece. In your art box is a picture frame like this. All I want you to do is turn around to the back and take off, bend back those little black tabs, take the frame part off, take the backing off. We're not going to need that at all. And I've included a sample little picture that you could use as your design, but you surely don't have to use this one. You could go online and find some cool detailed project that you wanted to do. You could print that off. You could even design your own and just draw it yourself. Younger kids, maybe fewer details. Older kids, I mean, really get serious with some detail on here. Do a lot of swirls, lots of little teeny parts. Makes it a little bit more fun to color in later. But this one is as easy as this. We take the glass from our frame, we take the picture, lay the frame right on top. I've included a little bit of, this one's I think glitter glue, but you can use it just because it's hard to find black Elmer's glue. But I found these are kind of fun. And I just want you to take this, get it shaped down to the end, and go around the picture and trace the picture that you got on here. And you certainly don't have to follow it exactly like it is on here. You can add a sun number in the corner, or put some swirls around it, or throw some extra lines on it just to make it kind of fun. But at least the picture being behind there gives you a guide where to put the lines. I'm not going to bother finishing the whole thing, but you can see this is the idea. I just started tracing just a little bit on there. Once you've got the whole design traced with this black glue, this is going to need to dry. I think this will dry maybe 2-3 hours. I left mine overnight just to be safe. I don't want to mess with it, and put it someplace safe where it's not going to get smeared. Once it's dry, you come back to your design. We don't even need the paper anymore unless you put the colors on here that you want to copy. But use the little highlight markers that I've included in the box, and just kind of run through and color in all your bits and pieces, whatever colors you like. You know, I've got a couple of these in here. You can use whatever highlight markers you might have around the house too. Those are kind of fun. But once we've colored the whole thing in, we simply put it back in the frame without the backing, of course, because we want to see through it. Bend those metal tabs back in, and you end up with a cool piece of stained glass. Set it in a window, someplace where you're going to get light behind it. Makes it a little nicer. The other project we're going to do is this little play hand. You can keep your hand just very simple shape, or you can, kind of stick your fingers up sideways or something, so that maybe these can be used as a ring holder next to the sink. Could be made a soap dish and a ring holder. You kind of come up with ideas after you're done, or while you're making it. All you need to do is take out a piece of clay that I've sent you. Take out the piece of parchment paper that I've sent you. The clay might, be a little bit stiff at first, so work with it a little bit to maybe smooth it out, or make it a little softer. It'll be easier to work with if you smooth it out a little bit. I just want you to lay that right down on there. I'm going to use a roller. If you don't happen to have one of these around, go ahead and use like a glass bottle of some kind. That works really well too. But all I want you to do is roll it out big enough to fit your hand. The smaller kids don't need to roll it out as far as I do. My hand's a little bigger than a 5-year-old, so it takes me a little bit more work to roll that clay out as far as I can. We're thinking about a 1/4 inch thick, but if it's a smaller hand, you maybe a little thicker than that, that's fine. That's close enough. We've got our clay rolled out. I've also included a couple of these toothpicks in there, and I just want you to go around your hand, go all the way through the clay. It doesn't have to be exact. We can always make adjustments to it later, but just to make life easier, just come as close as you can to the edge of your hand. If you need help from a grown-up on that one, I'm sure somebody will be able to help you trace your hand. This is why I've included a couple of these toothpicks in there, because sometimes they break. I get pushing a little too hard on them instead of taking my time. But once I get my hand traced on this clay, I can then get rid of the extra parts. breaking through all the way, of course you can always just use your toothpick to pull off a little bit more. Once I get all the extra clay out of there, we can start working on the shape of our hand. But this extra clay, you can actually use this for other stuff too. You know, you can make other sculptures for it and bake it just the same way I'm going to have you bake this one. And make, I don't know, make some little freeform sculptures, shape them into letters, and then you can paint the letters different colors. So you can use this up later. We've got our hand here. I did it very quickly, so it's a little bit rough. But you can always smooth out those edges, clean them up just a little bit, rather than taking all the time in the video to smooth those edges. You can smooth a few of them so you can see how nice and clean that could be made. But you can do that with the rest of it too. Then the next thing you do is take like a Pyrex bowl. You could even use a square one or come up with some cool designs of your own. But I just happen to have this little Pyrex bowl around. Pyrex is what we want. We want it oven proof, so you can put this in the oven and bake this together. So you can keep that bowl shape. I'm just going to place the hand in there, make sure it's got a little bit of a bowl shape to it. I place this in a preheated 275-degree oven for 15 minutes. I tested mine at 10 and it didn't quite make the clay hard enough, so I did it again at 15. We were good then. But watch it closely. Do this with the grown-ups' help, please, because of course that oven's hot. And this clay can overcook pretty easily. So wait till you've got a grown-up around to help you with that one. But they get 275, 15 minutes. Pull it out with an oven mitt or something, set it aside, let it cool down. Before I go on further, one more thing I want to show you too. I've included this paintbrush for painting the hand later. I kind of made some cool designs in my hand. I used the end of this brush, the hard end, and just made some swirls in it. You could poke some dots in it, just put some lines on the fingers. You could even put, you know, knuckle lines and the fingernail lines, and dress it up however you want to. Again, this is about you being creative, not just doing the simple instructions I've given you. So once I've baked it, let it cool, take it out of the bowl, and then it's this cool shape. And then I've included some paints in here. You can go ahead and paint whatever kind of designs or colors you want on there, and then give it as a gift. Use it in your own room and keep your own little rings on there, or keep some little hair ties or something in the cup here. As you're making this stuff, if you come up with some other cool new ideas or different stuff to do with it, let me know. Send me some pictures of the cool items you've created. But other than that, just go out there and have some fun. Thanks.